Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the November reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. Please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications. Let's get into this. So, just to check the temperature for the reading and kind of look into what the energies are being present at this time, I'm using the Magic and Mediums deck by Aniel Reed, and the illustration is done by Ash Color, I believe. The two cards that came out were Persuasion and Activation. And so, during this time period, you kind of want to be careful about what you consume in terms of what you watch on TV, the type of music that you listen to, because all of those aspects outside of yourself can have an influence on how you act, how you react to certain things. And so keeping that in mind, moving forward in the month, just kind of like, there's like this saying that like my grandparents used to say to us all the time. And the saying is to guard the avenues of your soul, because a lot of the things that you consume, whether it be, visibly consume, audibly consume, or even actually physically consuming foods, can be, detrimental to you. So just to keep that in mind, be mindful about what you're eating, too, because that does have an influence on your overall energy level, and just your overall well-being. But being mindful about what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're reading, how much time you're spending on the internet, just mindlessly scrolling through. A lot of those things like take away from what you're trying to do, right? You also want to be careful what you say to other people, because at this time your words can have a lot of influence, right? Which is a good thing. I think part of the issue here for you, Capricorn, is that you might not realize how powerful you are in terms of your ability to create, with the words that you speak. Basically being able to implement plans, put plans into action, or just the things that you're saying, like projecting that out into the universe, it creates like an effect that actually makes the things that you say come true, right? So you want to practice a little bit of being mindful how you speak and what you say, only speaking the things that you truly mean, in a way that conveys exactly where you stand and your position on something. Okay, and then the second card is the Activation card, which together these two cards basically speak about you kind of having to step into that power that you own, that you possess, that you might not even realize that you possess, right? You might be doubting your influence and your ability to make things happen. And I think this month the cards are saying that you need to find the courage to take the steps and to manifest the dreams that you want for your life, and to move in the direction that you want for your life. I feel like a lot of you, because these cards are in the upright, this is really not an issue for you. I feel like you are in that space where you are actually getting the things that you want, right? You have definitely been putting in the work, and you are basically reaping the benefit of your rewards, for the work that you have been doing. And so don't doubt your influence. Don't doubt that you can move things in the way that you need them to be moved, because there is a lot of respect surrounding you at this time. And so I think you need to learn how to trust in yourself, and have a little bit of self-confidence. Okay, so let's move into the cards. I am using the True Black Tarot deck for readings this month. I just love the imagery that's on these cards, and I really wanted to share them with you. And I'm using it to do like a Celtic cross reading, so I'll explain as I go through the position of the cards in the reading, so that you can get an understanding about how they're laying out, right? So in the current position of kind of like what you're going through at this moment is the Two of Cups. And so there is like a sense of connection, partnership, romance at this time, right? So this might be someone that you are currently with, and it's kind of like a renewal of your romantic feelings towards each other. Or it can be a situation where you guys were kind of like having a little bit of difficulty, but you're coming into this space where you're starting to see eye to eye, and that you're working on like your partnership. This could be with a Pisces. I don't know. I just see these two fishes and I automatically think Pisces. So this could be with the Pisces individual, and this is not necessarily, has to be the case, but it could be a Pisces or a water sign individual in your circle that you are dealing with. But the Two of Cups is basically representative of an attraction, like a romantic attraction or a sexual attraction between you and another person, or it could be a friendship that's like a really intimate, close friendship with someone. And that this relationship is going to have a huge impact on your month of October, or it's something that you're currently dealing with at this time. The Two of Cups is being crossed by the Eight of Cups in reverse. The Eight of Cups in the reverse is talking about, well, in the upright, it's talking about walking away from something, right? Just kind of like abandoning something. So you might have, for some of you, you might be coming out of a situation where you walked away from something to be in something else, right? And so that's where the Two of Cups is showing up, because you walked away from something in the past, and now you're in having a new chance or a fresh start in like a romance. For others of you, you're at the decision about this relationship that you're in, where you're feeling like, should you stay or should you go? Which is a little weird, because the Two of Cups was not in the reverse, it was in the upright, but you are still there is a sense that you're feeling like you're not sure if you should stay or if you should go. So I'm going to pull a couple clarifiers for the Eight of Cups. So I am using the Hoodoo Tarot deck this month to do clarifiers. It's a deck, it's like a tarot deck for root workers. And so for the clarifiers, the card that came out was the Pa card, and also the Strength card in reverse. Okay. So keep in mind that this is energy, right? We're talking about energy here. This could be you. This could be the person that you're with, right? So if you're not feeling this way, that means that the other person is feeling this way. So try to keep that in mind. Now, the Pa card in this deck is talking about is actually a representation of the Moon card in the traditional Rider-Waite or the traditional tarot decks. And the moon, as we well are aware, that when we talk about the moon in tarot, we are talking about secrets. There's things that you are not 100% aware of. There's things here that you don't know, right? And in this particular deck, right, so when we talk about the moon, we're talking about the moon being illuminated by the sun, right? But then there's always a side to the moon that is hidden from view or that we are unaware of, right? And so this is talking about like the inner things that we are not aware of, or the hidden things that we are not aware of, and how they're influencing a situation. Now, in this particular deck, which I find is interesting, that this Pa card is represented by men, when usually it's we associate the moon to feminine energies. And so this card is actually speaking about the tendency of men to conceal their feelings and their desires, to keep some aspects about what they've done or what they're doing private, or keeping their thoughts and their feelings to themselves. And so that's a really interesting take by the writer of this deck about this particular card, but I think it's appropriate here. There's something that's kind of missing from the equation. And with the Strength card here in reverse, this is actually requiring you to tap into being mindful about how you kind of navigate in the situation, especially when you don't know the full details, or finding yourself in a situation where you need to find out what is not being shown to you or what is not being told to you. When this card shows up, it's basically saying that you might be deceived by someone, or you are doing the deceiving, because like I said, it can work either way. You're in danger of delusional thinking. You know that you have some inner demons that you need to ask yourself if you're ready to face them. And that there is like some darkness or self-deception going on, right? And so you need to be able to clear your head and really brace yourself with the Strength card here for what that truth actually is, right? Yeah. With the Strength card here in reverse also, you one of the things that she actually writes in the book is to use the power of persuasion to get the results that you're seeking. And I'm only actually reading that part because of the fact that the in the original spread that we did, the issue of persuasion came up. So you might want to use your powers of persuasiveness to get the information that you need to get that's been hidden from you. And this person, like I said, with the Two of Cups and the Eight of Cups, there's a Six of Cups on the board. So this is potentially someone that you've known for a long time. It could be a relationship between you and a partner, but it could also be someone that's in your family, someone that you are close to. It could be a mother. It could be just someone that's been in your circle for a very long time, that you've known for a long time. And so this might not necessarily even be this new relationship, although it could be if you have known them for a long time, but it could be whatever relationship that you walked away from in the past. There is something there that's kind of like lurking that you are unaware of. And so using your powers of persuasion, your ability to get information from a person by using the right words and not being very forceful or very direct or very harsh with them, you might be able to get them to reveal to you what it is that they're hiding from you. Or like I said, it could be you doing the hiding. And so you need to really try to figure out what is it from your past relationships or your childhood that is putting you in the position that you're in right now, where even though you are in a relationship that seems to be, having a good start, like, what is it that's kind of like holding you back from that? Or, what did you walk away from that you are regretting, right? So these are just things to think about. Let's move on. In the position of the subconscious influences, we have the Queen of Pentacles, right? And in this position, this is talking about like your deep desires, your beliefs, and your feelings that you might not even know that you are carrying, or it can have an unconscious, a subconscious and unconscious influence on the current situation that you're going through, right? And the Queen of Pentacles is, one of two things. The Queen of Pentacles is someone that is very focused on finances and money, and also someone that, is also a little money hungry, but also someone who basically likes to take more than they give, right? And it could also work in the way that like a person who basically takes care of everybody else, but doesn't necessarily take care of themselves. So this could be actually playing out in your life. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is representative in tarot in terms of like astrological signs. It could be a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo individual, and that could be the person that you're dealing with. But if it's not one of those signs, it could be any sign really, but those are the signs that are usually associated with the Queen of Pentacles. So that depends on how it's playing out in your own personal life. And of course, this could be you, right? You could feel that you are in a situation where, in this particular situation, where you are giving more than you're getting, or you might feel like you want to just be a little bit more selfish with your time and your resources. But this could also talk about a little bit of a disconnect between your home and your work life. Like your partner could feel like you spend more time at work, or you're working more and not really spending a lot of time with your family. And so that could be a part of the subconscious influences that are happening in the equation with your Two of Cups, right? In the position of the past of this particular situation is the Page of Cups in reverse. And so again, there is this sense of like a childlike quality. It could be immaturity, but because there is like a lingering element of the Six of Cups kind of in here, this could also be someone that you knew as a child, right? And if this is a person that you're in a relationship with, there is a sense of like, there's a little bit of an immaturity. But I think that there are some things happening that you are aware of. And this could have been something, even if it's not with the person that you're with, but the person that you moved out of the relationship with to be with this person. I feel like the trauma of the situation might have caused in you some sort of intuitive block, where now you're not too sure about the things that you're seeing and feeling, and you have a little bit of self-doubt, right? Because the Page of Cups in the reverse usually talks about like you doubting your intuition, right? And so if you are getting messages, or you're feeling certain impressions regarding this situation, you should probably listen to it, because I feel like that is kind of pointing in the direction of the things that are hidden, like we saw with the Moon card that came out, that are hidden, that you are not fully aware of. So if this is outside of yourself, then you need to pay attention to the intuitive nudges that you're getting, because it's actually trying to reveal to you the things that are being hidden. You also kind of want to pay attention to your dreams, because a lot of times these things will show up in your dreams and kind of like point you in the general direction of the information that you aren't really getting, in real time, right? In the past position, we have the Three of Swords. And so this is what this is the crux of the situation right here, right? So in the past, it looks like you've dealt with heartbreak, and moving out of a heartbreak situation and into finding new love. I think there is a little bit of a hesitation on your part, because right now in this current situation, if this is a new situation, it's like you're trying to avoid being hurt all over again. And so there's a sense that you're trying to kind of like manage your emotions in this situation, because you're trying to avoid hurt. The Page of Cups in the past position that we just looked at is really kind of like, in the upright, it's kind of the energy that you would want to move into a new love affair with, right? Being open and innocent, and being open to that love and that connection. And I think that with the Three of Swords here, as a part of like your goals and ideals, it's like you are prohibiting yourself from moving into something where 100% open, because of your fear of being hurt, because of what the past relationship that you just came out of. But even deeper than that is you just don't want to be hurt. Like, that's the goal, is not being hurt, right? And I feel like that is what you are actively trying to accomplish, is to be in a healthy, loving relationship where you are not where you don't have to fear being hurt. In the near future is being represented here by the High Priestess card, right? And so in this moment, you're going to be stepping into the space, or this month coming up, you're going to be stepping into the space where you're really trying to lean on your intuition. And this is specifically going to be linked for you back to, like I said, to that Moon card, where you need to know, if the Moon card is talking about something that you are concealing, you need to be able to ascertain who you can and cannot trust, and who you can feel safe with in order to open up in a relationship. But also, if something is being kept from you, it's going to ask you to tap into your intuition, into your intuition, and to kind of get over those roadblocks that were created in your past situations that make you doubt your intuition, and really step into that, like that power of persuasion, in order to get the information that you need, and ask for information that you need in a way where it'll come to you, especially if you do a little bit of dream work where you ask spirit to reveal to you the things that you are not seeing, or the things that are being hidden from you, so that you can tap into the spirit realm and get that information. But the High Priestess is all about intuition. It's all about a higher level of understanding and knowing, and that is definitely the space that you're going to be moving into once you activate your level of, and work on your level of self-confidence in what you feel to be true, right? Don't allow anyone to tell you something that intuitively is not the truth, right? We need to work on sharpening our intuitive muscle, so that we can pick up on those things and know which way to move, right? And so moving into this month, your approach is being represented by the Star card, which is really all about just having faith in what you're building, faith in who you're becoming, faith in yourself and your intuition, and faith in the powers that you hold and that you possess. Like, you are not here because you slacked off or whatever the case may be. You've been working, right? And so you really need to enjoy kind of like the fruits of your labor, or learn how to enjoy the fruits of your labor, and know that anything that you really want is within reach. The only thing is that you shouldn't allow yourself to be blocked emotionally by anything that happened to you in the past, right? You just kind of want to learn how to move forward. And I really do feel like you're in that space where you do want to move forward. You don't want to be hurt. You want to have something healthy. You want to be able to use your intuition to kind of like eliminate unnecessary hurt to yourself, because you can kind of like see it before it gets there, right? And I think you are in that space where you're extremely hopeful about that. With the Star card here, it's all about hope and having faith that things will work out the way that they're supposed to, right? And right now in your environment and the energies that are currently surrounding you, it really does feel like you're being surrounded by family. You're being surrounded by friends. There is like a really familial type of feeling with the Six of Cups, talking about memories about your childhood. But that is what's surrounding you right now, which is actually a really, really beautiful feeling, right? And I kind of feel like I said, a lot of the stuff that you are afraid of lies in things that are not being spoken, and things that need to be addressed. And I feel like this is happening within like your family structure. The Six of Cups was actually kind of floating around before, when we were talking about the subconscious. And so take the time to look at like your family structure, and look at the relationships that are there in your family structure, and how they kind of like work together or work against each other, and kind of try to figure out how that is affecting your relationship now, because I feel like that a lot of that is at play. But you are being surrounded by love, and people who love and care about you, and that is like a really, really beautiful thing to be surrounded by. Things could be worse, right? What you need to know is being represented by the Justice card. So for all the things that you don't know, and all the things that are hidden, and all the things that are being kept from you, do understand that in the background, Spirit is working on your behalf to kind of balance out the scales, to make sure that justice is being served on your behalf. One of the things that we should always remember is that when we operate in a way that is above board, and when we operate in a way we are operating out of a sense of goodwill, and we're giving good into the world, that no matter what happens, or if anyone does anything to you that is just ridiculous, Spirit is always going to balance those scales out every single time. And so for that reason, you don't need to worry. Like I said, Spirit is going to reveal to you the things that you need to know, and in the background, justice is going to be served and justice is going to be handled, right? And then the final outcome is being represented by the Knight of Swords. And I just like, first of all, this card is so dope for you. The way that he is kind of like rising up and just with all the badassery, this is you right here, right? So after all the confusion, after all just the back and forth, in the very end, everything that is nonsense will kind of be removed and be kind of cut away. The Knight of Swords represented in this particular deck is said to be the most active, swift, and fierce of the four knights. He's straightforward, he's blunt, he might be sometimes brash, but like I said, you want to kind of work with your power of influence here, especially when you're trying to get information. But with strength, a great deal of intelligence and skill is also required. And he's also many times the bringer of ideas and expertise, as embodied by the flurry of writings that trail behind him in this particular card. And the King of Swords is someone who uses their intellect and their abilities to the greatest extent by setting aside their feelings and penetrating through the confusion of the situation. And I feel like that for you is the final outcome. It's really just clearing away all the confusion, clearing away what is residual from your past relationships, your childhood, and those hurts, and getting really to understand and see where you're at right now, the benefit of the situation that you're in, that you're loved, and that you're surrounded by people who love and care about you. And getting to that is the most important ending that you could have, right? And this is an amazing way to end this reading for you guys. I'm going to pull some advice cards. So the first card that came out was masculine energy, number 16. And that really, the image on there is the sun, which is kind of interesting to me that both the sun and the moon card came out, but they're still talking about masculine energy, which to me symbolizes that there is a little bit of an imbalance. So I'm going to go ahead and read the card so that we can see what it says. So the sun, a powerful, a life source without which nothing on this earth could survive. The masculine energy is one of action, doing, creating, forcing. In nature, it is balanced out with feminine energy. When we find ourselves embodying this energy, we get things done. We are thinking, logical beings. If we reside here too staunchly, we do not have any room for the opposite energy to come in. Being able to effortlessly flow from one to the other, masculine to feminine, is the pinnacle of being in the flow energetically. Sometimes in love relationships, the energy turns topsy-turvy, and we end up residing in an energy that doesn't meet our highest need. This is hard to break out of due to fear. The fear of, if I don't do it, it won't get done. Realize that two people make up a relationship, and in an evolved one, the relationship itself develops its own energetic balance, a perfect combination of yin and yang, masculine and feminine. If there is a void in one area, an imbalance will develop, and as is the nature of things, unconsciously we try to balance out. Being aware is the perfect first step. Alternately, this card signifies a very important man in your life. I'm gonna say that because of the moon card, like I said, that was also representative of masculine energy, that the feminine and the feminine person that is represented in the Two of Cups, which is the partner, that is the feminine energy that should be embodying the feminine energy, might be embodying too much masculine energy. And so there's a little bit of imbalance in masculine energy because both partners are embodying masculine energy in this partnership. And that is something that needs to be looked at. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next card. Duality. Okay, so black and white, good and evil, yes and no, up and down, want, don't want. These are all examples of dualistic thinking. What if you ban these labels from your thoughts for a day? What would happen? Would the world end? Doubtful. Would some person get away with something? No. Would you attach less emotion to a bad situation or drama? Possibly. If that happened, and there was less attachment to a situation, you could keep your vibrations higher, which would enable you to deal more successfully with any situation that comes your way. Given enough time, most bad situations work out in the end. If It is your choice to be drama-free or spend a lot of time and energy wasted on a situation that will turn out okay in the end. What do you choose? And the last and final card, which seems very appropriate, is number 29 for changes. Like ripples from the smallest drop of water in a pond, the smallest of changes in one's life can bring about the greatest rewards. Think about changes you can make in your life. These do not have to be grand, sweeping changes. Judicious, small changes can add up to life changes after time. Think about small changes you can make now that will add to your quality of life. Clean out clutter, commit to walking every night after dinner, cut out processed food from your life. Alternately, big changes are coming your way. So ultimately, there needs to be some sort of balancing act in your life, balancing out male and female energy in the spaces where that is needed. And I think there also needs to be an addressing of this, particularly if this is playing out in the role of a relationship that you're involved in. So I want to thank you so much for listening and for taking the time to listen. I hope this helped you in some way. Please leave a comment and let me know how this is kind of like manifesting in your life. Forward this to a friend who you feel like could benefit from the messages that are here. Follow the subscribe to the account and hit the bell for post notifications. Thank you again, Capricorn, for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.